Welcome to Master the Fun and Crusaders of the Lost Idols. This is a new game. Well, it's in beta on Steam. It's free. It's a fun little game. It's a clicker game, and as you can see, the graphics are quite colorful. It's nice. I thought I'd give this a little review and see what it's like, since it has the Yogscast as a special event for, I believe, another day and a half, at least from this moment, and so it'll be ending soon. I thought I would check it out and see what the game was about, and it looks really nice. As you can see here, it's one of those clicker games where you click, just, like hyper clicking. I don't think it matters where you click. As I was experimenting with it, you could click anywhere within the window, and the monsters that approach will get hit. Now, it doesn't matter where you click in the negative sense. It'll be the first monster that's approaching you. In other words, you cannot click in the back. So that was a little, let's say, worrisome down the line when they got a little tougher. They get quite overwhelming. You don't want to advance too fast. So another part about this is your little guy there, the whacker guy, who just got squashed, is not alone. He's going to have, as you can see below, he'll have unlocks. So you start to form your team, and you can get quite a big team there, as I'll show you a bit later on. And they will do the clicking, they'll do the fighting for you. So as the little creatures approach, you don't even have to click. If they're strong enough and you upgrade them enough, they'll start to die way faster than let's say, they won't be able to reach you. So they'll die fast enough where they won't even touch you. But that's what I'm trying to say. So it's fun. I like the artwork. It's nice, and the objective is to save Simon of the Yogscast, Honeydew, one of our beloved. Well, I'm a big fan of the Yogscast, so for me, him and Lewis are the top guys and my favorite pair of that team that has expanded over the years. So let's have a look a little bit further down the line as to what this game can do. The little green rectangle there below, this is the bar where you'll see all your crew or your characters, and that's the one we control. It's the only one, at least from the beginning stages that I've tried, it's the only one that you can control that clicks. In other words, the other ones, as you see below when we unlock, I believe it's the lumberjack, we don't really control him. In other words, we don't click with him. It'll only be this little bushwhacker guy, which you could even take off. In other words, you could have just the lumberjack fighting on the field, and he'll be automatic, and he'll be automatically killing everything, which is really cool, because then you don't have to sit there and click your finger off and get fatigued or whatever they call it. So that's handy. The thing about this is this game keeps running even if you're not around. You can just walk away and leave it in the back, or I believe even close the window, and it'll keep accumulating gold for you. So there, it's showing you that we've got enough level to upgrade the little item below. So below the face, there's these little items that are going to appear. We need to click those, and some of them, well, most of them, you're going to need a certain level to unlock. And these are very important because they make you more powerful. and you'll need them to defeat the little creatures coming, because they get either faster or stronger or have more hit points. So you just have to constantly get it. You wouldn't have a problem, assuming you don't advance too fast and they don't overpower you. If you can see that you're killing them fast enough, let's say without clicking. See, as we see, we have the lumberjack below us. He will be doing a lot of the damaging too, and if you can knock out the enemy, or if he can knock out the enemy fast enough, basically you could just go have dinner or even leave the computer on overnight and come back the next morning and have tons more gold, which will help you to level up again. Now, it is pretty consistent where, you know, you get the same amount of gold, so you will get more gold as you advance to the next stage. So, another very important thing, to me, I think it's probably the most important number in the entire game. If you look on the top left corner, next to the gold, you'll see the little sword, which is the damage you do. Now, this is very important later on, because as your minions start adding up, as you can see the little circle there, you can put them in certain positions, and these positions will change that number. You see, it just went from 31 to 61, and that is huge later on when you get into the massive numbers of damage, and I mean billions and trillions, and it goes beyond that, as I'll give you a glimpse later on. So there we go, we advanced to the next level, and as you can see on the map in the top right, you can see the little yellow arrow pointing to the stage we are on at the moment. This, I don't know, these are all these little things here they're trying to sell us. Of course, the game tries to sell you stuff for real cash, which is, you know, it's good if you have it. We're just testing it out, so we're not going to be buying anything. I'm just content with looking for Simon and perhaps unlocking Sjin or Paul from the Yogscast, and that looked very interesting. He also runs a little tutorial, a couple of videos on this, which is where I saw it, so I figure I expand on it, perhaps fill in a couple of extra details that he may have left out, which is kind of funny because he's the one that's in the game and he's playing it. So that was really cool to see, actually. So here you can see we've added, I believe her name is Sasha, into the mix, and I put her in the formation below the lumberjack, because the lumberjack is giving, I believe, the bonus. As you can see behind the heads, there's this little white, almost transparent little circle there. If you hover over that with your mouse, you can see the benefit, or in other words, what's being done, or what the bonus is from where, or where is it going to. I'm not sure which one, but if you hover over the character, it'll show the direction of the benefit. You know, if it's behind or forward, if it's defense, attack, or extra DPS or damage per second, or healing. There's a witch doctor healing that heals. And as you can see below too, we've unlocked the 2, and there's 2 more to unlock. So depending on, you know, how much gold you have, you'll be able to unlock the next tunes, which are necessary. Well, I think they're necessary to advance to the next stages to get more gold, because like I said, it gets much more difficult, and it will be, you'll have more than what you can put in your formation. So if the max formation is 10, at least to a certain point, you'll have, I believe, 20. So you're going to have to start choosing which ones benefit the most. And even though, like for example, the princess, which you'll see later on, doesn't do a lot of damage initially, because even though you level her up, she doesn't do a lot of damage. you know, the ones that come after do much more damage. She has huge benefits to the formation. She does a lot of DPS increase for the whole group. So I couldn't find higher, much more powerful minions, or whatever you call them, to replace her, because as soon as you take her out, as I showed you before, the upper left corner where the sword is, that number drops massively. I mean, it went from the high billions to the low billions, you know. It just, there was a massive decrease even if you level up. So certain characters do tremendous benefit, and this lumberjack guy, I put him in the back with the other three, so the whole row of 4 was getting massive DPS damage, and there's just certain people you can't take out. Well, you can, but like I said, if you want to do the most damage to advance quick enough to get the unlocks, or like for example, like I said, this event is limited time, so by the time I release this video, I don't know if you'll have enough time, just because it only goes so fast. You know, there are little cards or bonuses to make the monsters come out faster for a few minutes, but we're talking hours, you know, that you have to advance this to make the certain unlocks to get Sjin, for example, or to find Simon. I don't even know if I'll be able to find Simon in time before the event ends. Hopefully they have another one, I don't know. So those are my thoughts on it. So it's really cool. I'll have a second part to this so you could see a little more of what's happening. But as you can see, it's fun. I'm definitely going to keep it. I don't know if I'll spend any money on it, depending on how much it is. They seem kind of expensive. That's just my thought. It is beta, so they may lower the price or change things, or who knows, reset the whole thing, who knows. But it is really fun. It's kind of fun. You can toggle off the music and the sound effects. So as cool as the music is, you know, after hours and hours, it could get on your nerves. So the monsters change, and for example, if you take your whacker off, he doesn't do any damage. When you click, yes, you can pull the coins off, but the little enemies just kind of laugh at you when you try to click them without your little whacker guy. So you won't do any damage when he's off. If you put him on the bench, I think they call it the bench down there. So now you can see I have the little werewolf there back, and he is out of position. I didn't know it at the time, but I could have put all four in the back, and they would all have gotten the bonus from the lumberjack, from they call it the column, you know, from top to bottom. So there's other bonuses that are, you know, around the character. So you'll see when you get it. So you play around, you can move them, you just drag them. As soon as you start dragging them, the little circles light up so you can see where to put them. And yeah, and it's really cool. You have different tabs, as you can see on the bench, the brown pot. You see little tabs there. You can check different things. You can unlock your chests. After you win the boss, you'll get a chest, and those are also very important because you get either gold or group bonuses, which I think are the best, because that helps you, you know, progress onward. Probably more important than the gold is being able to defeat the enemy without clicking. That's the key. You want to be able to just manage without having to click all the time, you know, because if you start making moves, you're going to see your damage going down, and you don't want the monsters or creatures to overrun you while you're doing that. So, and later on you'll see you can even save formation sets. It's not here at this point, but later on you'll get 3, and possibly more, I don't know, but you'll have 3 save formations. So for example, this I could save it as 1 if I move them into a different formation. For example, let's say you get a gold minion, which gets a lot of gold, but you're full, it might be less powerful. So you might have, let's say, a gold formation, so you put that as number 2, which is what I did. And then you have your damage formation, which is your strongest, so you put maybe the the king or something else. So anyway, that's it for now for part 1. We'll have another part 2 coming, and we can see where it goes from there. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all those goodies. If you have any thoughts or ideas, leave it in the comments below. And as always, have fun. Cheers.